guys, and update 3 progression update for me. So this is Kinetic Fusillade Wander, and I am going for the route of reducing the duration of Kinetic Fusillade to a point where I can hold down the attack button and it will always just fire. It will not be holding off the projectiles. So bypassing the skill, initial problem, which is the duration, right? So I am using 3 uniques to reduce the duration of the skill. The warp timepiece and 2 time class moonstone ring. They can all rolls up to minus 20% to duration or reduce 20% skill effect duration. And then I also have an additional 25% from 3 points on the skill tree, which are these 3, right? So it can reduce the duration by 85% total. And that is enough to bring from 0.7 second, which is a massive delay, to right now 0.11 second, which is just enough for me to sustain my attacks without having to just like wait for anything, right? I can just keep attacking and will get the projectiles to fire up all the time. It can sustain up to roughly 9 attack per second at this point. If you want to have more attack speed, then you can reduce it further by some like reduced duration. For example, you can have 10% from this, like hasty demise. The other 2 stat doesn't do anything, but you can anoint this for 10%, and it'll be 95% reduced duration. So it will be very, 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 very tiny. And also, you can use less duration support, and that will just give like 0.05 duration. I have tried it, but right now with my character setup, I don't need to use the the less duration support, so I am using all damage support instead, right? So that is good. I think it is in a very, very balanced state. This character right now, I put roughly 12 divine into the character. I got 10 divine from a inspired learning and 2 divine from, selling other stuff. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But, in general, for 3 days, for me, this is a very good progression already, because I still have like 9 to 5 jobs, even in the weekend. So not a lot of playtime at all. Anyway, character is currently level 90, right? This is just some wonder nodes over here, some power charges. We take charge, frenzy charge is very big. We do, instead of assassin, at the start, I switch to a trickster for being more tanky, and boy, it is more tanky, right? We go with the reduced duration here and get some ES on the way, some ES here, some ES over here. So just efficient ES node, and we get 6.5k ES at the moment. I am also using Forbidden Flesh and Flame. This is, I bought it for 2 divine. Right now it is slightly less than 2 divine, but there are not a lot of them on the market. So if there are some people who buy this, it will go up in price very quickly. This one also like 2.5 div. I bought it for 2 div, but again, same problem, right? Forbidden Flesh and Flame always go up and down very, very quickly if people just use them, because there's not a lot of them on the market at the same time every single league. It's not reliably dropped and roll the node that you want. So I think Born in Shadow is insanely strong for tankiness as a trickster. So I just used it, and I think by the end of the league, right, or later into the league, people are going to start doing characters for Valdo's map farming. And one of the very good Valdo character is a trickster ES stacking. And I think the highest priority for a ascendancy node for Forbidden Flesh and Flame for those kind of Valdo's character is going to be the Forbidden Flesh and Flame for Born in Shadow. So I just invest into them anyway. I think this will go up in price eventually. And yeah. I also use Watcher's Eye with Discipline for ES on hit. Right now it's also around 2 divine. Oh, it went up to 2.5 and to 3 divine already, right? So if you want to get one of these, and if you want to get some flat damage with Hatred as well, then this can be 3 divine. Again, there's not a lot of them on the market. The main thing I want is ES on hit, so it's an additional layer of recovery. So yeah, it feels safer, it feels more comfy while mapping. Personally, I really enjoy tankiness and recovery, so the character feels like I don't need to pay a lot of attention while playing. I can just mindlessly grind, basically. So I want to do a relatively tanky character. Therefore, that's the purpose of being a trickster and getting so many layers of like expensive defenses. Not really expensive, but those are probably the biggest cost for the character at the moment, right? I do have a still 6-link replica Harry's Ire, but I got this earlier in the previous video already. So 6-link cost roughly 3 divine at the moment, and the chest itself, I didn't check the price. No 6-link is, yeah, it's not a lot, right? If you want 6-link, already done is 4 div. So pretty decent amount of flat damage for one attack. I think this is a very good chest even for the end game. Probably not going to change it to any rare items, because rare item can be stronger defensively, but we lose so much attack power from it. Evasion, int, suppressed is really good stat already, so I will keep this. Yeah, I have a crystal belt for ES, and I crafted the hybrid evasion and ES node, ES mod on the belt. Really good. Element of damage with attacks and some resistance. Most of the gear is just focused on as much energy shield as possible, and some stats, some resistance, just to cap out and get the requirement for the build. A lot of these, this one comes from birthing on the tree, right? I did not buy this one. I actually get it from the tree. This one I also get from the tree. This one I actually bought. But, I would think it probably came from the tree as well. And this one I just bought for 25 chaos. So what we want is ES, spell damage, and as much resist as possible. I think people, everyone, myself included, is printing a lot of very good items from the freaking tree. So tree is going to be a big source of just getting decent to very good item in this league. And yeah, the good thing is stuff like this is actually relatively cheap at the moment. It can be multiple divines if you are playing in a regular league with not a lot of insane crafting like this. But for this league, it is costing like a lot cheaper, like a couple of chaos, 20, 50 chaos. So basically nothing, right? Feels really good to actually gear the character. So if you want to replicate this kind of character, I would say, this is not necessary at all. Forbidden Flesh and Flame, this is an additional layer of defense. Obviously, if you get it, you'll be tankier. If you don't get it, whatever, you are still pretty tanky. You have a lot of evasion. You have Ghost Shroud to deal with some ES recovery, right? 24k ES. You can always just get like rare jewels with increased maximum energy shield, and then spell damage, those kind of stuff, and it will just give you a pretty good amount of defense, right? Yeah, I didn't even cap all my rest, so I would need to get this fire resistance note here so the gear can be approved. Anyway, that is enough talking. Let's actually, play the character, right? Run the map. This is a no regen map, so that is why I ran out of mana trying to showcase spamming the attack button, but because you have leech, right? So mana leech, just from one mastery, it's going to be enough. Okay. I didn't even start investing into any strategy or anything. I am simply just trying to fill out my atlas first before I do anything in terms of like scarabs and stuff. Again, that gamer with a full-time job, so progression is a little bit slower than an average content creator, for sure. But probably, I am in the same, point of the league as the majority of the player who cannot play a lot. Maybe even like play less than me, right? I will just show you guys a regular map that I'm doing here. I think this is like tier 12. I think it's tier 12. I think the highest tier map that I've got so far is actually tier 14. And it's not really a difference. Tier 15, 16 to 11, 12 is kind of the same. I have to say, right? Maps with no regen is a little bit like annoying because we cannot shield charge freely because we can run out of mana, right? So that is a little bit annoying. I chose the map that is, again, annoying. I should have chose the map without like freaking no regen, but hey, it showed one of the minor problem of the build. So I guess it's a good thing, right? Breach. You can, kind of like stand in the middle of breaches. You're not going to die in map, I think. From the moment that I switched to Trickster, at least this current setup, I have not died at all. Oh, by the way, there is one big thing that I forgot to mention in the gearing setup for the characters, which is the graph. Wreathed in Light is insane. This skill gives so much damage for lightning build. It is crazy, right? So I press the command and I suddenly do a lot more damage compared to not having the command skill. So I think Wreathed in Light is probably the best in slot skill. It gives lucky damage and then a lot of flat damage as well. So I think it is just insane for any like lightning build. Make sure you get one of this skill and yeah, use them for single target. Most of the time, you will not need to just use it, but when it is needed, it is probably 40% more damage at least. I'm not sure about the math because we have a bunch of flat and we have also a bunch of damage from being lucky damage. Okay, I forgot to use the Vow. This character does not have an insane amount of damage, not gonna lie. I when I have what I think is kind of like enough damage, I often go for defenses because that is just the thing that I enjoy a little bit more for building a character. I don't want to pay attention to dangerous stuff, and yeah, let's just finish this quickly so we don't need to waste a lot of time in the temple. Ooh! Oh! That is my first raw divine drop. And of course, it has to fucking happen on camera. The streamer RNG, the creator client strikes again. Well, it definitely is not a coincidence. I have to say, streamers obviously have a lot better drop than, the average people. That is not at all. Not at all a tinfoil hat theory. It is proven by me just recently. All right, so yeah, that is the character and a little bit of showcased and mapped. Probably tomorrow I will have a more detailed build guide on the character. I will go through all the stuff, maybe what kind of tree that you need to use to craft all of these items. It's very easy, by the way. Just go more defense, less life, and yeah, less chaos, so you don't have chaos resistant, and you can birth a lot of the items. You can get more speed for the boots, and for the weapon, for the wand, you can do the tree and get like more physical, more crit, attack, and birth. And a couple of times you will get something that is really good to use, right? So that is everything I'll have for this video today. Thanks for watching. I will leave the POV to this current character in the description. People have been asking for POV in my couple of previous videos, but this is the first time where I feel happy enough about the state of the character, so I want to share it with you guys, right? So price tag is an illusion, all right? I'm not claiming this to be any price tag at all. The items that I'm using, if you're quick to it, then maybe it's cheap. Maybe the price of those items will not even change because nobody care, because this is a shit build and nobody is going to copy it. But still, you know, if something get expensive, not my fault. Not my fault. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.